Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Catherine, your host. Welcome to another edition of Good Morning to the Leader in You. Well, listen, we're going to jump right in. Today's topic is 90 days. Yes, 90 days. 90 days from now, you're going to thank yourself because you went all in with your business. 90 days, you're going to thank yourself because you decided to let go of what was not working to walk into the path of what will work to enhance and grow your business. 90 days from now, you're going to thank yourself because you decided to get off of the bench and you decided to get into the game and go all in. 90 days from now, you're going to thank yourself because you made a decision on February the 9th that you were no longer going to live a life that was mediocre, that you were going to live a life that you know that you were destined for. 90 days from now, your business is going to radically look different. 90 days from now, your financial overflow is going to look different in your bank account because you decided to be intentional about every single day. Good morning to the leader in you. Today, we're all talking about strategy and implementation. Listen, over the next 90 days, what are you going to implement? What are you going to execute on over the next 90 days? We have to stop wishing and we have to start doing, right? So one of the things that we have to focus on is utilizing the next 21 days, right? They often say it takes 21 days to create a habit. And then what does that lead to? That means ultimately 90 days to create a new lifestyle. So I ask you today on February the 9th, what will you commit to changing over the next 21 days that will ultimately help you to create a new lifestyle for yourself? What will you commit to on today? So we are, what is got about second week in February, right? And this month is a short month, okay? It's just to the 28th. So what are you going to do between now, February 9th, and February 28th? That dash in between is going to determine how you end this first quarter of the year. That dash in between is going to determine how you enter into the second quarter of the year. What are you going to do with the dash in between? A lot of times people talk about the dash in between when they was, when they was born and then they died. But I'm talking about the dash in between this month of February. What are you going to do with the dash in between February 9th and February 28th? I want you to think about that for a second. In fact, if you have a piece of paper and a pen or something you can write down or put it in your phone, I want you to take a second and I want you to think about what you're about to do between now and February 28th. Take a moment and think about it. What do you want to make happen by February 28th? It's not a wish game. This has to be very strategic. Write it down. As you're writing down what you're going to accomplish between now and February 28th, I need you to put down what your action steps are going to be. What are your action steps to make it a reality? What are your action steps to make it happen? There's no guessing in this. There's no guessing game. This is what we know we need to do to make it a reality. Have you written it down? Whether on a paper or in your phone, have you written it down? Then I need you to commit to yourself to accomplish those goals. Because let me tell you something. If you take the rest of this month of February, create that strategy if you don't already have one, and work on your action steps, you will end this first quarter strong. If we just allow these weeks to pass us by, this first quarter will be at wash, right? And so we don't want that. So we need to be very intentional about what we do every single day. And then how much time are we wasting during our daytime, right? Sometimes you can't answer a particular phone call. You can't answer a particular text. You just can't, because it's going to throw you off your game. Certain calls, certain things, you need to put that in non-productive time. Sometimes we crowd our productive time doing things that's not leading to anything productive. Think about it. I want you to think about the course of your day. How much time gets away from you because of things that are just not producing? We have to shift that. If it's not producing for you, you need to shift it and move that activity to non-productive time. Maybe it's on the weekend, a Sunday, or whatever. But during your go time, during your game time, during this is my time, I make my business happen. Don't allow anything to infiltrate that time that's going to throw you off your game. We have to focus, and we have to be prepared to go all in with our business. I know personally my business is going to radically change over the next 90 days. I'm speaking it, and I'm going to have the action steps to follow it. I need you to speak it and have the action steps to follow it. If anyone's listening to this show and may need some assistance with strategic planning, send me an email, ct@catherinetrotter.com. That's CATHERINETROTTER.com. Send me an email. One of the biggest things I think that business owners struggle with is the strategy, but more importantly, the implementation, because we can come up with ideas. We're just creative beings like that, right? But the other half of the battle is coming up with the implementation. We have to implement. I want you to take a second, and I want you to think about January all the way up to this point of February 9th. How have your implementation strategy been? We had great ideas, but how have you been implementing them? And have you been allowing anyone to interfere with you implementing your strategy? I want you to think about it. I want you to reflect. Have you hit any of your short-term goals since this year got started? Whatever they may be, you know what they are. If the answer is no, commit to yourself not to waste any more time, and don't let anyone else waste your time. Time is something you don't get back. You know, I was at a conference Thursday through Saturday, and one of the speakers that really stuck with me was about not wasting time. And the speaker said, people can do many things to me, take things, whatever, but don't take my time. Don't waste my time. See, a lot of times people don't understand time is currency. Time is money. It really is. And I know we've heard that saying so many times, but do we really look at it in the course of our day? Do we really look at what we're doing and that we're not even making the money we need to make because we're wasting time, or we're letting others waste our time? Don't do that. Just kill it, dead it, be done with it. Move forward into the direction of your dream. Right? Don't become paralyzed. Maybe you felt this year you thought it was going to start a certain way and it didn't start that way. That's absolutely fine. I can raise both my hands to that as well. But do you think I let that stop me? Do you think I let that paralyze me? No. I learned a long time ago, you have to have multiple things working for you in the funnel as you're building your business. And if you're only depending on one thing, that's why you're frustrated, because you're only putting all your eggs in one basket. Never do that as an entrepreneur. You have to have multiple streams in how you're building your company and how you're building your business. If you're dependent in just one lane, one vehicle, let me tell you something. You're going to stay in a constant state of frustration. A constant state of frustration. What worked last year may not work for you this year. What worked last year and how you started 2020, maybe that's not the strategy on how you need to flow in 2021. And if you're using those same old principles from last year to this year, perhaps that's why this year didn't kick off strong, right? So I need you to analyze, what strategies are you using? And sometimes you got to be flexible and willing to pivot, adjust, move. You know what? I see this about to waste my time. This is not leading anywhere. I need to change tracks. And you cannot be afraid of that. And again, I'm going to say it again. The reason why most business owners stay in a constant state of frustration is because you put all your eggs in one basket and you don't diversify how your business is going to grow. If you diversify how your business is going to grow, keep a thick funnel and how you're going to build and how you're going to collaborate, you won't be in a state of frustration because you're not depending on just one area to grow your business. So we have to get out of that mindset where I'm just depending on one thing to grow my business. Because if you do that, at the end of this next 90 days that we're talking about, 90 days to transformation, 90 days transforming yourself, transforming your business, you're going to be still stuck in that same rut because you was only dependent on one vehicle to build your business platform. So that brings us to the next point. How are you building your business platform, and what diverse streams of income are you tapped into to build your business model, right? When you look at your overall arching business, your company, this is the main thing my company does, and that's wonderful. But underneath that, what other streams of income can flow underneath that one umbrella? That's how we all have to be thinking. I know last year when COVID-19 hit, it rocked everybody's world, hit the business community hard. If for nothing else, that should have taught us all that we have to have not just multiple streams of income, but multiple strategies that will produce income. Okay, sometimes people talk about multiple streams of income, but we have to have multiple strategies to produce income, right? So you cannot be boxed in. You cannot be boxed in, because if you're boxed in, you're going to limit yourself. So I say to you this morning, take the limits off, take the barriers off. Don't see any barriers. Don't see any limitations. Have multiple strategies that will produce income, multiple strategies to produce wealth, right? Multiple strategies. If you're just boxed into one, again, you're going to stay in a constant state of frustration. And do not put all your dependency in just one area, or a person, or a thing, or a company. That's ludicrous. We have to think outside the box. We have to wake up every morning with a strategy, not just waking up to see what's going to stick. We have to plan the night before and know what we need to do the very next day. So then the question is, what do you need to do today? What are you going to do today? Only you can answer that. I want you to take a pause and think about it, though. What are you going to do today, February 9th? Not tomorrow, not yesterday. Yesterday gone. We're not even in tomorrow. What are you going to do right now, today? Another thing that I got away from the conference was be in the present moment. I want you to be in the present moment, and I want you to reflect right now. What are you going to do today to build your business, to build your community, to build your leadership capacity? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Because at the end of the day, we all say we want to grow a big business. We want to grow a big organization. We want to grow a big whatever. But it's in the power of what you do today that's going to count. It's in the power of what you do today that's going to count. Because if you don't take today, be intentional, then what you want to see manifest is not going to happen. Yes, I slowed that whole statement down intentionally, because we need to think about that. What we do today, or what we don't do today, will impact our long-term projections for our business model. The power of today. Today, again, topic is 90 days. Over the next 90 days, what do you want to see? How do you want to see your business transform? How do you want to see yourself transform personally? How do you want to see your family transform? How do you want to see your organization transform if you have a nonprofit? How do you want to see your community transform? But it all starts with today. The power of today. The power of today. And acting on today. And executing. Listen, we're going to get ready to wind down, but I want everyone to reflect on what you're going to do today, how you're going to execute on today, but more importantly, visualize where you're going to be in the next 90 days. And get to work, go to work, execute. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let nothing impede on your production time. Sometimes you can't answer the phone, you can't respond to the text, you just can't, and that's okay. Because if you about to get it over these next 90 days, you got to have a clear focus. You got to be laser focused. And you got to block some things out. Or you're going to get derailed like a train. A train can jump the tracks, get derailed. But that won't be you if you stay focused over the next 90 days. But it's about today. The power of today that's going to impact your next 90 days. The power of today that will impact your next 90 days. If you haven't been to my website, check it out. www.catherinetrotter.com. I look forward to working with everybody, and I'm going to see you at the top.